All right, ladies and gentlemen, how is everyone doing today? Hopefully, you don't have this stupid flu bug that's been going around, because my goodness, it has been kicking my butt. But slowly on the recovering end of things, just when I was just about ready to be good to go, Fairy VR gets it, and then the whole family gets it, and then it becomes one big Charlie Foxtrot. So, yeah, mostly on the good end of this flu. Hopefully, we'll be back to normal here soon. So yes, welcome everyone, and that's one thing I do need to mention right away. For those of us who are in South Texas, we have a storm coming through, so if I lose power, that is why. Also, there's been some potential threat of some tornado watches for San Antonio, so that is something else that we're going to keep a very close eye on as well. So I don't know how long we'll be able to stream for again, and if that's the case, we'll have to shelter in place and all that jazz. But again, it's kind of rare for this type of for tornadoes to come through San Antonio, but it's still kind of want to take it seriously. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, kind of crazy. All right, with that, let's go ahead and say hello to all the wonderful Icey family here. We've got BC Parts with the Icey Cookie. We got Real Fan K. We got Randall. Let's see. We've got ANC Eric R&R at the N Scale and Life Journey, and Lynn McCurdy and the High Desert Model Railroad Club. And we've got Chuck. How is everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are doing well. We've got a lot to talk about. Ohio Steam and Steel as well is here. Yep, we'll try to do the best we can. Hopefully all you wonderful people are doing well. So, for those of you who went to Amherst, man, so much news came out. My goodness. My goodness. So I do have a backup battery. Yep, the backup battery is right there. I've actually got a couple backup batteries. So definitely, if you are a streamer, if you're a model railroader, please, please, please do yourself a favor and invest in backup batteries. It does two things for you. One, if there's a fry throughout the line, the battery is going to save your precious $500-$600 command stations. Also, it's going to protect. It's going to produce clean power to your command station. So all the noise, all the the dirt that goes through the lines of the power, backup batteries tend to filter that out, so your systems run a little bit more smoothly. So highly recommend getting backup batteries. Yeah, I heard. So I heard that the area that I used to live in, not necessarily Santa Maria, but Santa Barbara, has been on evacuation notices. So yeah, it's been crazy weather. Absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, absolutely crazy. But again, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your Friday evening to join us with the Icey family and to talk about the one thing that we love, the joys of model railroading. So, what we're going to do today is I'm just going to get right to it. Let's go ahead and go straight to the engine that we're going to be running behind the scenes. We've got so much news to talk about. Amherst just dumped us with a ton of news. And so we've got to talk. You know me, I love talking about model railroading news. It's one of the big things I like to follow, just to share, because again, I love just sharing the awareness of the hobby and what's coming up. So we've got a lot to talk about. As I mentioned, I've got 4 times the amount of window tabs trying to get through all the news that happened from Amherst and some other places as well. So yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna get this guy started. These are Rapido E8s. These are the DC silent kind, but they are technically DCC ready, 21 pin ready motherboards, and I just put Digitrax 21 pin decoders in there. So they are running silent, but they are running our overland train. So we're going to be running this guy in the background as we kind of talk through all of the news that is going on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed Amherst. For those of you who went, for those of you who watched Heat's live streams, Sparky live streams, Mini Prince, Trackside Mike, and there's a plethora of others. I think Ohio Steam and Steel did some videos on Amherst. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else here who went. But yeah, there was a plethora of videos. So much, in fact. I'll go to this camera real quick. Hey, 2 rail fans as well, I think, did some videos on Amherst as well. Welcome. How are you? So I am a big nerd when it comes to the YouTube and the algorithm and all that stuff. I know it's not generally talked about with other people, but for me, I'm just obsessed with it. Amherst was so big, so many people live streamed, so many people did videos on it, that I'm convinced, again, this is kind of speculation, that you guys changed the algorithm of just, the stereotypical model railroading content to Amherst for like the last 2 weeks. And I felt it on my channel because, I didn't do any Amherst stuff besides the news that came out of Amherst. I felt that big time on the channel. It's like, wow, you guys made a huge dent. Okay, I'm getting you guys mixed up. I'm sorry. My apologies. I think there's someone else I'm probably mixing you up with. But yeah, Heath did the whole show. The FOMO, the fear of missing out, definitely was real. I was talking to Ferry about it, and we're on the same page. We want to go, and we will go. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when. But we got some real life stuff that we got to resolve first, and then I think we can go in 2025. Not making any promises yet, but I really want to go. It's like I know how I'm going to record it. I know how the episode's going to come out. It's like I got everything ready. It's just we just got to get over there. So many good things. So many good things happening in Amherst. So as I was saying, so many people are focused on Amherst that when you research model railroading on YouTube, it came up with Amherst content. Like, you guys changed the algorithm for model railroading to Amherst. That's how big that show was this year. Not only just on the people side of the house, but just the amount of content creators that were there, those that were taking videos. And that's amazing because with 4 large buildings, not one person can cover all of it. I mean, I know he definitely tries his best to do it. But my goodness, it's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, definitely saw that change on YouTube. That was pretty cool to see though. And it took me about 3 to 4 days to get through most of the Amherst content because I just soaked it all up because I'm a nerd and like that. So I just ate it all up. But yeah, it was absolutely crazy. Awesome to see. And I think it definitely shows that the health of the hobby, at least in the North America region, I think we're good. I think it's stable. A lot of people went like you looked at the lines from Heat's live stream of just to get the tickets to get in. That almost looks like going to a typical Comic Con convention because I've been to a couple in Salt Lake City, and man, that was jam packed. At least for that Saturday. I know Sunday it started to snow and so forth, but wow, that was incredible to see. It put a big old smile on my face seeing all of the independent manufacturers there, seeing the manufacturers there. Um, it was crazy to see the amount. Yep, I hear you. I hear it too, real friends. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. And I still gotta go through his 360 videos. The 360 videos I can only see when I'm home. I tend to catch up on all videos and live streams when I'm typically at work because I can watch them on the background and cause we can wear headphones and so forth. So long as we're productive at work, we can do whatever on our computers, which is pretty cool. So that's how I'm able to watch live streams and catch up on videos and so forth. So yeah, definitely been trying to catch up. Yeah, I need to go. Like, I need to go. It is not a matter if, it's a matter of when. And so I think we can line everything up for next year for 2025. That's the hope. That's the hope. So with the guys, shall we? Shall we go through all the news? Let's take this journey. We got a couple field trips to make. All right, let's take you here. Yeah, I mean it is to be honest, and I think let me do it this way. Hang on. I think without a doubt, I think it's safe to say that Amherst is the biggest train show in the world. I don't think there's any other train show that can top that. Like Amherst is bigger than even a national convention by the NMRA. Because with the one that I went to in Dallas for the NMRA convention, that was just one big building with a couple of other conferences like spread out and clinics kind of spread out through the entire building. But the fact that it's four large buildings from Amherst, I think it's safe to say it's the largest. And I would even say this. I wouldn't even go to say this far. I think Amherst is probably the most covered train show on YouTube. So I don't think that's a far stretch to say either. So. Okay, so let's go through the plethora of news. So we're starting with Intermountain. So Intermountain announced their GP16 locomotives here. You can see the several schemes here. A lot of, I believe, it's a lot of, I don't know, Class 3 railways. Most of these I haven't really heard. I've heard of Janice and Wyoming. Seaboard, Family Line, some fallen flags as well. CSX. The one that I'm kind of interested in is the United States Army one because I kind of want to build a military train, but it's not really a high priority at the moment. Yeah, and I keep forgetting that the Dallas one is still technically the same show. That they do it every year. It's just Dallas is hard to get up there for me. 4 hours away from San Antonio. But yeah, as far as train shows this year for me, we've got the Summer coming up in February. We've got New Braunfels in April. We will not be going to the one in Houston. It's just too far. And then I think we're going to go on a pretty much of a lull of train shows too. I think the next one will be Tempest after that. And then New Braunfels again. I think that'll wrap up the year for us. So it's very light on the train shows. But we kind of want to save because we want to hit Amherst next year. We want to do the Amherst show, and we want to hit one Timonium. Probably in the later half of the year, in October of next year. Yeah, and that's the other one, too. I think Train Fest is another big one. April 6th and 7th of this year. Summer is coming up in February 25, 26. That one is it's definitely the smallest of all the train shows I've been to, but I think it packs a punch because Spring Creek's there. Summer has a general store that has a lot of good stuff. I bought a ton of Mopac stuff from them. So it can still pack a punch, but you can do the Summer one in about an hour. And I volunteer at the museum. Same with Railfan K. We volunteer to run trains at the museum. So yeah, we got GP16 locomotives, and there's a whole bunch of slew there. So yeah, kind of interesting. 4 axles. So the next one is Otter Valley Railroad. They were there at Amherst, and they've brought back more of their trash gondola cars. The one that really caught my eye was this blue Secure 2300 series cars, because I think these are gorgeous, and this kind of goes with my big grand project. Again, I've got more stuff to come on the grand project, but these will fall right into place into what I want to do with it. So pretty cool. So go ahead and check out Otter Valley Railroad. Really awesome, good stuff there. So Bowser. So I really, so let me put it this way: of all the manufacturers, I was interested with Bowser, especially with this particular unit right here, because what's interesting about this is that we were talking about this last live stream. Like, we were talking about the theoreticals of manufacturing. 3D printing is probably going to be a big thing when it comes to production samples and so forth. And then literally a week later, 3D printed development test samples of the new C415 center cap switcher. Look at that. 3D printing is already going into the manufacturing process. Kind of ridiculous. So they're using the 3D printers as a sampler, and then they're going to ejection molding plastic for the actual models themselves. But again, we're creeping towards these type of manufacturing. And you can see kind of the spruce down here of this particular model. And I think of all the manufacturers, did great interviews with Heath. Unfortunately, Bowser, we couldn't get much more information out of them, just because I understand it was at the end of the day. They were kind of packing up, but kind of a shame that we didn't get, to see more about these particular diesels. But at least we get to see some close-ups here. Again, this comes from Railroad Model Craftsman on Facebook. This is where I got the information from. The diesels look awesome. These center cabs look amazing. And here's the different schemes here. The one that I'm kind of interested in is the Rock Island. And I think that's Southern Pacific right there. The image is kind of blurred out there. But excited for Rock Island. Correct. So they're 3D printing the samples, but the full production models will be the casting, just like normal. But I'm waiting for the day that we can 3D print that the filament becomes strong enough that they can replace the casting, and that you can simply order, and then in about a week they'll 3D print it, and then you can get the model. But again, we're like 10 years away from that happening. And then some other catalogs information. So yeah, definitely some interesting announcement diesels from Bowser. I love this unique stuff. Absolutely love it. Okay, so now for the granddaddy of them all. I think the best announcements coming out of the show came from Scale Trains, me personally. They announced the brand new 4 axles that we were speculating last stream. And something that didn't even cross my mind that I should have thought about is what is the easiest way for manufacturers to announce new product? Well, they've got a lot of tooling for the Jeep main body. And it's like, you know what? If they move like one tooling or change one piece of the tooling, they can have like a different variant of the Jeep, of the GPs. And it's like, duh, it makes a lot of sense that they're going GP40 because they already have other moldings from the other GPs that they've already made. So it makes sense. So the big 4-axle announcement was GP40s. And you can see all the road names here. So we got Chicago Northwestern. We got the big billboard, Rio Grande text there. We got L&N, Milwaukee Road, Penn Central. 2 Western Pacifics. And then the one Western Pacific that I really want is the 1776. So this will probably be the one that I'm going to go after. But my biggest concern is that the pre-orders are due by the end of February. So yeah, they're due by February 26th, which unfortunately that's going to go into my Samurai Train Show allowance. So I'm I'm debating if I'm going to pull the trigger on this. And the unfortunate thing is that they got both 1776 and 1976. So now I've got to decide which one, because I can't get both. It's kind of ridiculous to try. So I think I'm going to go after 1776, but I still haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. It'll probably be one of those that I'll probably end up grabbing when it goes to the distributors. But other than that, very, very nice. Yep. Pen Central, you can count on us. So yeah, there's your Pen C. But yeah, not bad. Pretty cool announcement. And then, I've been talking about this next one for a while. Whoever gets into the race to create the heritage units first, they're going to have a huge heads up and advantage over the other manufacturers. And of course, Scale Trains also announced their heritage fleet of the CSX locomotives. Now, this is only 5 of the several that they're planning to make. I think I heard something crazy like 23, 25. Absolutely crazy amount. Oh, I appreciate that, Chuck. So to be honest with you, that video almost didn't come out. It almost didn't come out because I was watching TSG, excuse me, Multimedia's kind of advice when he was talking to Ray from Around the Layout about doing content at a home personal layout. And the content that I grabbed, I don't know if I did the layout justice. Interviewing other people is not necessarily my thing. Other people do a whole bunch better. I'm shy and introverted in real life. I'm just extremely extroverted online. This is the way it goes. But I started to really think about it a little bit. And it's like, I think the layout needs to get some recognition considering just how good it was. So I played with a couple of drafts of that video and finally got to a point where I was content with it. And then finally released it. That I filmed last year, like last October, I think. And I was still just trying to figure out how I really wanted to present it. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, his layout is amazing. I hope someday to get invited back. They're still kind of working on the layout. It's not really in full operations mode yet, but they want to do operations. And it's basically the layout that I want to do here. So, have you seen the ICG Bicentennial unit? I have not. I'll have to look into that. Yep, a lot of potential for the GP40. It was the day it came to life. Nice. Yeah, I appreciate that, Chuck. So yeah, for those CSX fans, for those who are fans of the Heritage Fleet, Godspeed, because these are about, what, $330 a piece? $305 a piece. I wish you good luck. And this is why I have to limit my collection, because this is going to get crazy really quick. Absolutely crazy. Okay, so the next item, the one that I am super, super, super excited for, is the new Blue Nami 21-pin decoders. My goodness, I am super excited for this because it just makes life so much easier. I love Blue Namis. I still have to experiment with mine. But what this allows me to do is really, if you pair it with the Dakota Buddy Mini or the Dakota Buddy, for me personally, it's just a no-brainer. The pads are nice and big, and I kind of talked about it in my video that for me, the Dakota Buddy is kind of a really entry-level friendly way to convert DC locomotives into DCC. And the fact that now we got the plug-and-play of the Blue Nami 21 into the Dakota Buddy, oh, I'm excited for it. Absolutely excited for it. So we'll see when this comes out. Like I said, I think I estimated maybe 150, 175 decoder. I know it's expensive, but to be honest with you, you can do so much with the Bluetooth technology. All right, Eric from ANC Owner, take it easy. You can always catch us on the replay, and take it easy, get some rest. But yeah, Blue Nami, I cannot wait. Cannot wait. So Broadway Limited, and this was about 2 hours ago. We've got the first samples of their die-cast SD70 ACE diesels. Look at the metal. Now, it looks like we do have some plastic trucks here. Not necessarily a fan of that, but you can see they're going to say the whole thing was die-cast. But as you can see, there's the nose that's metal. The body is metal. We've got the brass details on it. And looks like we're going to have a die-cast fuel tank as well. So that's something to note if you're going to be modifying these things. That it's going to be it's going to be a heavy beast. And again, they may change this. This may become die-cast, but I'm not holding my breath. Looks like maybe some plastic front up here as well. But these look gorgeous. These look absolutely gorgeous. I don't plan on getting any of the die-casts, but I'm excited to see, what other people think about it. They're definitely going to be pullers. And I'd imagine this is the direct competition to scale trains. Yeah, these are the BLI ones right here. Yep, Broadway Limited. This was literally 2 hours ago. They released their samples of the die-cast ACEs. So really, really cool that we're starting to see the samples come out. Absolutely excited. Okay, next up, we've got Pico with a K. So the KM Locos, again, this was 4 hours ago. They have announced that they will start shipping of the DCC with sound on February 9th, and then they'll arrive at dealers soon. Yep, 3 pounds. Yep. Gonna be crazy. So this one I'm excited for. I've got this on pre-order, so we'll probably see these guys by the end of the month, is my suspicion. So you'll see one of these running on this layout. And what we may actually do is do a Southern Pacific special for the end of the month, because this is not just one that I'm going to be getting by the end of the month. More news on that in a second. But yes, hopefully we'll get these KMs by the end of the month. So I'm excited for those too. So we got one on pre-order. I wish I could afford a second one, because really I think you need 2 locomotives to make it look right. I do have one of these, the old River Rossies. I want to try to convert it, which is kind of my rationale why I didn't get a second one, because I could probably just convert that River Rossi one along with this one and then consist them. We'll see. We'll see if I can make that work. All right. Aurora Miniatures. So Aurora Miniatures announced that they're going to have their GMD SD50s. This is the Montana Limestone Company in this scheme right here. Yeah, I saw that from the footage. Yep. So when I was at Texas for the National Train Show, they had the sample not painted, but then you guys got to see the painted one, and you guys got to see the painted bullet train from Bachman. Because the one that I saw, it was still like the sample not painted, and then seeing it all painted, man, that looks pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. The new Acela trains. So they're going to come in Dakota, Missouri, Valley, and Western color scheme, along with, I believe, CN, Canadian National, is going to be the other scheme that they're going to have. Again, not my forte, because I don't typically model Northern Railroads or collect Northern Railroads for now. But definitely give some love to our Northern Tier railways. Yeah, the thing is, like, I think it's gonna be like $6.99. I think for that set, it's like, oof. It's like, now we're getting into the territory of, do I go after the Bachman one, or do I go after like the turbo liner from Rapido? And I kind of want to go with the Rapido one, to be honest. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough choice when we get into those type of price ranges. So there's something to note. I did a video on this. We got a new merger. CN is planning to buy Iowa Northern Railway for $230 million. Again, we'll see if the Surface Transportation Board will allow it. Decision will come later this year, July of 26th and August 25th. So we'll see. We shall see what happens. Okay, that's a spoiler. Okay, so now, as I mentioned, remember I said that that KM wasn't going to be the only Southern Pacific that we will see by the end of the month? Well, I'm happy to announce, as you can see here, the GS4s have arrived at Factory Direct Hobbies, and yes, I got a phone call today from Train World saying that my 2 GS4s are coming. So they've been officially shipped. I think I'll get those in by next week. So we'll get the GS4, Daylight Scheme, and the Western Pacific GS4s coming in hopefully by next week. It's all paid. It's being shipped. I cannot wait. Yep, I hear it too. Yeah, I just heard it as well. So, yeah, I am super, super excited for this. Just looking at the model that they got in from Factory Direct. Oh, it looks good. Like, gimme. So as soon as I get it in the house, I'm going to do an unboxing video. I'll put them on the layout. I'm praying that they can make this turn, this curve over here. I think it's like a 25 turn on Harbor Point. Because if they can make it, we're in business. But yeah, this has been my most anticipated engine for a while now since they announced it last year. So yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Cannot wait. So we'll have the GS4 Western Pacific, the Daylight Scheme, and then with those KM coming in, it's going to be a big time for Southern Pacific for my collection. So that'll be coming in hopefully next week. Okay. Those were all the good news. So I'm curious about your guys' thoughts on this. Because I know Heath asked it about... He asked the Broadway Limited guys about this program. You guys know my thoughts. If you see my video on it, I called it the slippery slope. And I called that for a very particular reason. This is interesting. I did not expect a manufacturer to do this. But here we are. Here we are. So, if you guys don't know, this is the Connectors Club that they announced at Amherst. And basically, it's a subscription model that for $30 a month, you get all these exclusive perks. Not $30 a month, $30 a year. Let me rephrase, $30 a year. So the benefits, and I'll just list them here. An exclusive HO and N scale locomotive offering. An additional 10% discount on BLI outlet store. Members only merchandise, giveaway items and artwork. An additional 1-year warranty on new BLI products purchased in 2024. And then members-only gatherings with BLI VIP product suggestion portal. So, I'm torn because I'm biased on this. Because you guys know how I feel about Broadway Limited as of late. Like, they were my biggest manufacturer last year. They have a lot of the cool and upcoming fantasy schemed like diesels and steam locomotives. I would even kind of equate them to the Lionel of HO because we're seeing a lot of cool things come out and a lot of what-if schemes into diesels. Look at all the shark noses that are coming out, for example. And this one hurt me a little bit because I know I'm going to do it because I'm biased towards BLI. But it is a very scary, slippery slope to go down. Because think about how many manufacturers are out there. So we've got Broadway Limited. We've got Bachman, we've got Bowser, we've got Aurora Miniatures, we've got Atherin, we've got Atlas, and so on and so forth. If this succeeds, that's the part that I'm concerned about. Because if this succeeds, you can imagine that each and every other manufacturer may do the same thing. So yeah, it may seem kind of cheap in relative terms because $30 in model railroading terms is cheap in my opinion. But then if we start seeing, okay, Bachman says we're going to create our own VIP subscription service with our exclusives. And then Atlas does the same thing. And then Atherin does the same thing. You can start to see the issue. You can start seeing the issue. So my concern about this is that, we're starting to see subscription-based services in software. We're starting to see it in like all of the live streaming that we see, Netflix and all these other Disney Plus and so forth. And now, of all places, we are now starting to see this in model railroading. And that has me a little bit frightened that we are now touching this subject in model railroading. So this is important to talk about. Hello, Wolf. Yeah, I remember. How are you? Welcome back. We're talking about all the news that's been going on with Amherst. And by far, this one's the most controversial. This one is by far controversial. So, and if you guys thought the Scale Train's feedback about all of the announcements was bad, the comments for this announcement was pretty bad too on Facebook. So Bachman and Hormy do it in UK. Don't have a problem with it. I don't subscribe to either, but buy a lot of British items for both. Yeah, and I get that. And it's like, my biggest issues is the exclusives for HO and N. Because I'm going to do this because Broadway Limited has earned my respect because I'm buying enough of their fantasy line products to justify me doing it. Not everyone in the world can justify doing this. And so the big quote that I kind of want to highlight that Broadway Limited came up with is this. So the best way to explain, and this comes from Broadway Limited, the best way to explain the exclusive HO and N scale locomotive offering is when we make an exclusive locomotive, an HO and N scale locomotive, it would be something we've already done several times, but in a paint scheme or road number we haven't offered before. HO example being an 844 FEF in Greyhound or an 8444 in Greyhound. The other benefits of the exclusive locomotive will be the price. Again, sticking with the example, instead of purchasing it from your dealer from $500, you get it from us directly at $300. Technically, you would be paying it for $330 because if that's the only thing you want out of the membership from this conductors club, then it'll be $530 plus tax plus shipping and all that. So probably roughly $360 to $370, which is not a bad deal, but I would also argue that that's almost the same price as some dealers. Also, if you're a dealer right now, I think I'll be extremely concerned about this because instead of buying it from a dealer, you can buy it directly from the manufacturer at deep prices. I haven't seen this before because normally when you go through a dealer, you typically get an MSR, you get the price at the MSRP and not like the sales price. So this is quite interesting as well. So again, for me personally, I'm going to try it for a year and more than likely I'll probably keep it if they keep these exclusives within UP, but that's where I don't know. How many exclusives are they going to have that I'm going to justify having the $30 a year for? I don't know. I don't know. So let me kind of off topic. So yeah, the SeaWorld stuff. The only thing that's so the name itself is not rebranding. It is the parent company that's rebranding. And I don't think a lot of people understand that SeaWorld's owned by X company or by the parent company. The parent company is the one that's changing the name. SeaWorld is going to be SeaWorld. to my understanding. I don't think they're gonna change the SeaWorld name. It's just it's all the parent company and the stockholders and all that stuff. That's what's changing. It's just like how the best way I can describe it is how Google changed their parent company to the Alphabet. So the Alphabet owns Google, YouTube, all that. But Google itself didn't change their name. That's the best way I can describe it. And so you bring up something good here too, BCR Parts. I've never gone through their refurbished items. So I need to dig more into their refurbished lineup. But my next concern, I'm curious if they're refurbishing like old BL or Paragon 3 decoders and upgrading them to Paragon 4s. If they're doing that, then that could actually be worth exploring for that additional 10%. So it's definitely making me rethink where I buy BLIs, especially because I want to make this $30 worth it. And especially with the product suggestions, I think something I think would be kind of cool for the channel, because here's the other perspective too. If I wasn't doing YouTube, if I was just a normal person who just buys locomotives, again, I can't see this being a good thing for your day-to-day people who just buy trains and so forth. For me, also doing YouTube on top of that, I can report on this. And then if you guys want to suggest something for me to put into their VIP product suggestion portal, you guys can let me know on stream. So I think we can make this fun as well. So there are some good things to this. I'm just, again, I am more concerned of what the second, third, and fourth order effects of this is going to be. Am I going to be locked into a subscription service through all of my manufacturers now? And if I am a dealer right now, I would definitely be worried. Because Scale Trains kind of does a little bit too, where you got to pre-order through them for the most part. And so I'm just kind of interesting to see how this is doing. There's a shift in culture, I think, between manufacturers and distributors and dealers and so forth. So, again, I'm hoping I'm wrong about this, but it's just interesting. And this is why I call it a slippery slope, because it can be a good thing, or it can lead into some other things I would be deeply concerned about. So we'll see. For Christmas, you got a Bachmann 060. It's a good runner. Yeah, those 060s are really good, especially if you maintain them, keep them well. Those are the ones I would also try to consider converting to DCC. They're pretty good. They are good runners. And, yeah, I know I give a lot of crap to Bachmann for their DCC systems, but if it's one thing I will always admit is that they got good starter sets for the most part. I know it's a little bit expensive, but again, that's the whole turn of the hobby. And Jimmy from DIY Digital had a fantastic video of the state of the hobby. You should go watch it. It was very well thought out. 100% agree with him that the health of the hobby is good. And I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, Bachmann does some good things. And I know HO Power Trains was talking about it as well the other day. So I think as far as the North American model railroading scene, I think it's in good shape. I think it's in good shape. And I think Amherst definitely shows that as well. And how just Amherst dominated the YouTube scene. But, so yeah, if you guys got any ideas, I will be purchasing this on my next paycheck, which will be in about 2 weeks. I will be going ahead and get this. I'll make an announcement that, hey, I am a member of BLI. If you guys want anything to be suggested, I'll do a community post on it, and you guys can respond to that community post, and then I will start plugging and chugging all the VIP product suggestions that I can. So that way I can try to be somewhat of an ambassador to you guys that don't want to do this but want to see something be produced by BLI in a particular road scheme and so forth. I already got 2 that I want to start off with, and that's obviously my UP coal turbine. That's the first one I'm going to suggest like 1,000 times. And then the other one that I really want is the Missouri Pacific Babyface Baldwin diesels. So those are the 2 that I'm going to heavily go into. Awesome, Wolf. A werewolf? 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 Hey, and if you're happy with that, if you're happy with the steam engine and the passenger train, or a passenger car, then you got yourself a nice little train, go around circles, and if that makes you happy, you know, that is what the hobby is all about, and I absolutely love that. So yeah, more to come on this. I'll report back, make a couple videos on this, and see if it's worth it. So we'll see. We'll try to make some good out of it. Okay. So I think we're finally through. I think we're finally through. That only took us what, 43 minutes to get through? Almost a full hour. Wow. And there's still announcements that I still haven't even touched on the scenic side of things. So, you know, Mini Prince came out with their bunker for modulars. Like, I really want to get that. I love that bunker scene. ITLA was there. I want to get a whole bunch of ITLA products because I love the when it comes to you know, flats when it comes to buildings. Yeah, and that's why you gotta keep an eye on the gears. Make sure you don't run it on the floor because once those gears get stripped, forget it. It is done. Yes, Warwolf. Thank you for reminding me about that. Actually, that is something that I I saw that news and I totally forgot to make a video on it. Good call. Let me bring that up. Let me bring that up because I think I can rail fan this. I was looking at the map the other day. Um, okay, another field trip sponsored by Warwolf. Okay. So yes, this is the Canadian steam engine, the 2816. So this is going to be the route that they finally announced. So starting Calgary, and it's going to go all through. It's going to make a stop in Minot. Oh, I wish I was there. Minneapolis, St. Paul, Franklin Park, Devonport, Kansas City, Shreveport, Laredo, Texas. Now, the interesting thing is that it's going to go through Corpus Christi, and that's where I can catch it. So I need to figure out the exact dates of when it's going to go through Texas, and I think we can capture it going through Corpus Christi, because that's only 2 hours away from us. So I'm hoping we can get to it. Ooh, and there goes the thunder. Okay, so it's going to be the week of the 24th and the 28th. So depending on when the big boy is going to do their Four Corners tour, I'll need to line up some time to try to catch this one and try to catch the big boy 4014. It all depends on the schedule. So yeah, Corpus Christi, right there. You can see the track going right through Corpus. So I was looking at this like, I think we can do it. I think we can get you guys some footage of this. So more to come on that. Thank you, Warwolf. Yeah, good call. See, this hobby is too big for just me. That's why I have you guys. That's why I have you guys. Yeah, and all the star sets. Yeah, again, Bachman has their place. Bachman has their place. Yeah, absolutely crazy. This year is just, yeah. I think we're in a golden age of model railroading. Even though we have all this news of train shows closing, brick and mortar places are closing, I think we're in a good spot. I think we're really in a good spot. Well, Warwolf, you got to see something that will never happen again because 4141 is being donated to the George H.W. Bush Library, if I remember correctly, here in Texas. And so that diesel will never run again. It's going to be a static display. So you'll never see the big boy and 4141 together. That's pretty cool. But yeah, they got the Four Corners tour. I guess we'll bring that up. Let's see. UP big boy. Four Corners tour. Let's see here. So still no updates besides the redaction in 2 cities. I think it was Oregon and Idaho. They're not going to anymore. Still no announcements on the route or the dates. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. They're gonna yank it out. Yep. Yep. I think it's already been donated. Let me see. UP 4141. Where is that at? Yeah, so it's at the Texas A&M University. It says, wait a minute, where's Texas A&M? Wait a minute. That may be actually a lot closer than I thought. Sorry, I'm not familiar with Texas yet. I'm still trying to figure things out. Let's see. Where are you? Oh. It's just right outside of Austin. Oh. You know, I've been here for a freaking year in San Antonio and didn't even realize that 4141's almost in my backyard. Oh my goodness. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Okay, so it was donated to the Bush Presidential Library on November 8, 2019. It made its final run on November 9, 2019, and returned to the library March 12, 2021, where it's being prepped for permanent display. Okay, so this comes from Texas A&M. And let's see, when was this article was last year. So this was March 22nd, 2021. So here it is right here. So there it is all covered up. Let's see, fundraising. I'm just skimming through this real quick. This was so cool, too. I remember this when the 43 brought it in. Such a good touch. Okay, so on Monday last year, 4141 was lifted off the trailer and placed on its permanent outdoor pad. So yeah, I think it's there. I think it's at Texas A&M. Let me look this up. Where's this at? My goodness, if this is like an hour and a half. Okay, the George H.W. Bush Library. Let me zoom out here. Oh yeah, that's driving distance. Shoot, San Antonio to George H.W. Bush Library. I'm only 3 hours away from the 4141. Huh. Okay. That's good to know. That is actually fantastic. Okay. Now the question is it technically on display now? Let me take a look here. Oh, no, it's still under construction. But we're still going to go. So take a look at this. And make sure I'm not going to dox myself here. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so this is Google Earth. So this is the Texas A&M campus, pretty much. And then here's the presidential library right here. And there's 4141 right there. So I don't know when this Google image was taken. But right now, the display area is under construction. But you can see 4141 in the tarp. So you better believe that we're going to make a trip down here this year. That's going to happen. So now we can see the progress of this. Yeah, that's happening. That is happening. Nice. Love it. Love you guys. I love these rabbit holes. Learn something new every day. That's cool. And what's funny about it, got this guy's I think I bought this guy last year. Oh, this has sound on it. Hang on. Please hold. Please hold. Since we're on this massive rabbit hole. Oh, you know what though? I don't know if this is programmed. I'll have to find out. Definitely not that one. I think it is. Yeah, that's not programmed. Okay. It's not programmed. So I've got I gotta work with it. But yeah, I do have the 4141. It's MTH, and I hate the ProSound 3 because ProSound 3 you can only program the decoder on the main, can't do it on the on a programming track. So it's a hassle, but we will get this one running. Nice little rabbit hole. Nice, very nice. Yeah, let's see. Maybe we can find pictures. Hang on. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I don't see any images. Of it completed. Yeah, we'll have to go down there and see. That'll definitely make for a good video. Your test is good. I can see the test. Can you... Let's see here. So yeah, I'm definitely hearing some thunder strikes. The storms are definitely coming in. So again, if we get cut off, one thing I do want to say is thank you so much for all the support. We have crossed 4,500 subscribers. We just hit 4,510 like an hour ago. So again, thank you guys so much of supporting the channel, like, commenting, following, all that stuff. All that helps in growing the Icey family for and celebrating the world's greatest sandbox hobby. Well, I heard that there's another company that's making a supersonic aircraft. I can't remember the name of the company, but they've got their experimental one testing, I think, right now for FAA approval. Let me test how to track the message. Okay, all good. Yeah, you just press on the 3 dots to the side of your message and you can retract it. Pretty simple. I appreciate that, BC Parts. Again, not required. I try to, again, I'm a workaholic. I always have that guilty conscience that I want to make sure that I work for everything, that I earn everything, that when you guys subscribe and all that, that you're getting value out of it in one way, shape, or form. I know BC Parts, you suggested like DCC decoder install, so I've got that under the shell type of project going. I'm actually working on my first official DC. Well, it's a repair video. Had an engine that required a new decoder, so I've got that video in the works right now. It's already over an hour long, but you guys can get the thought process of how I go through converting DC to DCC or replacing an older decoder with a newer one. Yep, there you go. The company's called Boom, and the plane's called The Overture. Yep. That's it. See, I'm a nerd. I follow a lot of things. Not just model railroading, so this channel is mostly focused on model railroading, but, you know, I follow all sorts of nerd stuff. Because I'm into airplanes, I'm into, you know, pop culture, I'm into manga, I'm into anime. I'm into a whole lot of things. But my main hobby is model railroading. I enjoy it too much. But yeah, I'm hoping I can get over the sickness so I can go back to Samurai, because I've been missing Samurai a lot. I love that layout. Even though I hate easy DCC. Just so many problems with newer decoders. I may put the Blunami Steam decoder into the 844. I'm still kind of playing with that idea a little bit, considering that it epically failed on our T1. And I still got to repair that T1 too. It has all sorts of issues. So yeah, if you guys do anything on your channel, feel free to advertise yourself. Just be careful with just no links for now. Links, I tend to let my moderators and myself advertise links. It's just for your guys' own protection. I've seen too many things happen with links, leads to bad things, viruses, and all that crap. So yeah, if you guys are doing anything on your channels, feel free to advertise. If you're going to any train shows near you, feel free to advertise that. Have fun with it. There you go. Yep. Jack of all trades, master of none. I get that. Yep. Trains, photography, ham. For me personally, yeah, model railroading. YouTube has become a big hobby now. 3D printing is a big rabbit hole I'm getting into. Not enough time in the day. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's a lot of thunder out there. A lot of thunder. I just need to make sure, yeah, everything is connected to a backup battery, so just in case I got surge protection. Yeah, I got surge protection on everything. The long cone, twice the speed and sound Concorde, but won't make the sonic boom sound. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, like I said, as far as train shows, Samara's coming up in a couple weeks. We've got New Braunfels. Whenever Tempest or Temple train show pops up again. And then New Braunfels, and that should wrap up the year. So no big ones this year. Yeah. Are you talking about the gray one that you just released from Atlas? I tell you what, Atlas and those freaking shells of theirs and that packaging, my goodness. Hate their packaging. Yeah, so funny you should mention that. I have a video beyond the Icey Railway, and we went to Lexington in Corpus Christi. So yes, I do have a video about Lexington here on the channel. Which reminds me, I still gotta edit my Riverwalk, because I got a Riverwalk video I want to showcase. Again, the whole point of the Beyond the Icey Railway series is to find inspiration. You know, we keep saying model what you look at, or look at what you model, whatever. And Beyond the Icey Railway is kind of a series for that. So those of you who are military modelers, I've got the USS Lexington video. For those of you who want to build a cityscape with a river flowing through it, you've got the Riverwalk here in San Antonio. So, yeah, that's right. I remember you saying that, Randall. Yep. You had 2 different road numbers. And you have videos about... Nice. Nice. See, everyone's got their own thing, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, so when it comes to those foam inserts, especially... I hate them. I chuck them every time I see it because it just gets in the way. All I need... Again, this is kind of a little bit of a rant. When it comes to protective shells and so forth, just do the freaking shell clamp shells or whatever. Those things are so good. And it's like, I understand I'm trying to protect it and everything, but the styrofoam inserts drive me nuts. And every time I see it, I take it out and I chuck it. Clamshells. That's it. Clamshells. Clamshells should be the standard and go from there. Nice. Oh, yeah, and also, Wellfan K, congratulations on 7K. I just saw that you crossed there, so also congratulations to you, good sir. It's amazing. Model railroading is growing on YouTube. The more you put in it, the more people get exposed to it, the more we all grow. We all benefit. And more importantly, the hobby benefits. The hobby benefits. Alright, I really need to pay attention to the weather. Yeah, I gotta pay attention to the weather real quick. Hang on. For a minute, I thought I heard an air horn, because that's not good if that is going off. Because that means a tornado warning. Let's see here. All right. I'm going to run the train a little bit slower, just so if I hear some air horns, that'll be time for me to go. Yeah, I don't know, Randall. People just do things. I don't know. Yeah, no problem, FNK. Alright, so thunderstorm watch. I don't see... Let's go to radar. San Antonio. Oh, wow, that's nasty. Oof. Let's see. Let's zoom in here. Okay. 9:45. So we're... Okay. It's not too bad. The storm's going by pretty quick. Yeah, we're in the middle of it now. Okay. Yeah, well, the whole city of San Antonio. Here, I'll show you guys this, because this isn't giving away my location. So take a look at this. So yeah, this is the weather right now. So this is all. So I love this city because it's one giant circle. My Ferry and I, we always call this the pie city. So okay, are we the inner ring pie? Are we on this slice of pie of the city? So we have a whole nickname for San Antonio. This is the pie city. So yeah, the entire pie. This is basically the entire city of San Antonio is one big giant circle. 410 gives us the whole circle here. And when I talk about New Braunfels, that's where New Braunfels is. If you keep going up this way, there's Austin. Keep going up, there's Waco and Dallas. Ooh, wow, Dallas is getting somewhat hit. Dallas, Fort Worth, and so forth. So yeah, really all of Texas is getting kind of hit. So yeah, this is what we're kind of in the thick of right now. But it's going by pretty quick. But so far, no, oh, I don't know about Keelan. You said Keelan, Texas? Is it in Texas, I'm assuming? Keelan, Texas. Also a thunderstorm warning. So that's just that's just north. What? So that's between us and. So yeah, you're about to get hit, or Keelan's about to get hit, I should say. Yep, I see it. I love how this became the Weather Channel. Let's see here. Field trip. So yeah, Keelan's right there. So you can see this whole entire band is just going through right now. So yeah, looking pretty nasty for Texas. Oh, even Oklahoma is about to get hit. So yeah. And there's Arkansas. All four. You was stationed there many moons ago. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, let's see here. What else we got? Make an anime movie called Wolf Run. Faced with Wars. Oh, fair enough. And that's the thing. We need creative minds nowadays. Absolutely need creative minds. Eventually, that's something that I want to make. I want to make a World War II military train that gets pulled by the big boy. That's something I want to do as well. It's on the back burner for right now. Ah, you were at Sam Houston as well in mid '90s. Awesome, a lot of military members. Let's go. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's get you guys back to the trains here. All right, and I'll speed this up just a little bit. Close that out. And yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, so this is the initial push of the storm, and then we should be good. So I say about maybe another hour. There's supposed to be a lot of hail, and that's why I just got the garage ready for priming, painting, airbrushing, and all that, and then I had to take it down. Basically, I have like foldable legs that I put my tables onto, and then I had to take that down because we had to bring the cars in. I mean, rightfully so. It was a lot. Hail can cause a lot of damage, especially when we're talking about golf ball size hail. Look at that, connecting people. It's a small world. It's a small, small world. I love it. Love it. But yeah, I'm hoping. Again, Fairy VR has almost a final say of how I spend the finances. I mean, I track the books and everything, but at the end of the day, once we can, because we both want to go and meet you guys, because we know Amherst is the show to go to. Not only just to meet you guys, I mean, it's good for the channel, it's good just for model railroading. There's so much good to it. So, we'll see. And who knows? Some random day, my job may actually take me to the East Coast. I don't know. That'll be the day. That'll be the day. Fort Bliss in 2001. Awesome. That sounds familiar. I can't remember it, but that definitely sounds familiar. Any upcoming pre-orders you guys looking forward to? Anything you're excited about from the announcements from Amherst? I know there's a lot of buildings. I saved pretty much every independent manufacturer that Heath kind of went through. I was able to find them on Facebook. If not Facebook, the website and all that. So there's a lot of like buildings I want to start grabbing. Because my goal is that I want to get some proper scenery, especially some flats going on with this layout. AIT. You are 14J. So your duty title. Nice. I love it. I love this family. This is cool. I love that we're connecting. Love that we can meet friends, sit back, relax, talk about the world's greatest sandbox hobby, and just talk about anything in general for the most part. Oh, what paint scheme? I love the Aces. The SC70 Aces are my favorite modern day diesel. Um, for the most part, and this is gonna be a hot take. I know it's gonna be a hot take. I'm not a fan of the Dash Nines. I'm not a fan of modern day diesels. I find them boring. Minus, so with an exception, I like the CPKC's new up and coming paint scheme. I think those look nice on the modern diesels, but uh, this is why I like my transitional era. I'm biased towards transitional era because then we got like things like the E8s, we got F units, we've got steamers, we've got all the Jeeps that came out with all the crazy diesels, experimentation. That's just my era. That's the era that I gravitate towards. Now, don't get me wrong. I guess the better way I should explain this is that I don't like to model modern per se, but I do enjoy going out and rail fanning the modern stuff. And that's why I don't model it, because if I want it to see prototypical, I'll just go and rail fan and get some rail fanning videos of it. That's usually my mentality. But again, that's just me. You have fun the way you want to have fun. An old theme park train for $24 or $2,400. That'll make a little more sense. MOS, that's what they called it. MOSs. Yep. Norfolk Southern paint scheme, nice. Miniature F, you like modeling stuff. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, as far as modern, the Aces just look symmetrically correct. Just the way how the exhaust ports are in the back. It just looks, I don't know, it just looks right to me. I have a weird mind when it comes to modern diesels and modern stuff. So that's why I tend to model on the fantasy, not prototypical side of the house. I don't know. I'm one of those crazy nuts. I mean, we've got four E8 units pulling the overland train. I love it. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Using like N scale and a G scale layout, yeah. Looked in very rough shape. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I'm hoping that someday, it probably won't be anytime soon, but I'm hoping someday. I just want to, what I really want, um, I'm just hoping that timing can line up for it. If I ever do live steamers, I want a galloping goose. I want a galloping goose that I can ride around on a live steam layout, 7.5 gauge. Because I've got that one video from the Better Creek and Western that was 7.5 gauge, and I got to actually control that switcher CSX train. Oh man, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And I know here in San Antonio, there's a group that's starting up a 7.5 gauge that I'm part of, and they got the land, 11 acres worth. Beautiful future. Like, this city is slowly becoming a heaven or haven for model railroading, because there's Samra, there's the Texas Transportation Museum, which has Z scale, Lionel scale, G scale layout. I've done a video, but I haven't released it yet. I still need to do that one too. It's all raw and everything. I gotta edit it. They have Amory, which was I think the Alamo Model Railroads Association. They have their HO layout up there. There's Elmendorf that's coming online. They have a Fremo club that I'm a part of. along with their 7.5 gauge that they're looking at doing. And obviously all the train shows. Dallas is 4 hours away. We've got. It's just so cool. I am, at least in this point in time, I am blessed with what I have around here. So I know there's others that just to get to a good club gives them. They have to drive hours and hours and hours. Yeah, those E8s, they're Rapidos. The Rapidos have the best good looking E8s, in my opinion. And so my next video for Under the Shell, it's either gonna be the E8s or another project I'm working on. But I love how clean the inside and the mechanical work the Rapidos are. Papa John, how are you, good sir? Been watching on the TV. Well, I'm hoping you sit back and relaxing and just hopefully enjoying the conversations. I appreciate you, good sir. Imagine having a Chinese JS class. Yep, they're nice. For Taurus Railroad around San Antonio. The Great Western Railroad. Fair enough. Fair enough. I love that imaginative thought. I love it. How's Ohio treating you, Papa John? Hopefully you're staying warm. If you guys are new or just joining us or just lurking in the backgrounds, again, welcome. Thank you so much for being here, taking some time out of your Friday evening of all the places you can be. You chose this little channel, neck of the woods, celebrating the world's greatest sandbox hobby. We just crossed 4,500 Icey family members here on the channel. Again, thank you guys so much. Truly humbled, blessed. Never my wildest dreams that we'll be at this point in time. So again, just thank you. And this year's going to be a crazy year. We've got playing train shows coming up. We got 4014 we're going to try to chase down. We're going to try to see if we can chase down that Canadian Pacific steamer that will go through Corpus Christi. We'll see. A lot of good things coming up. Busy doing nothing. Living the good life, then. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we just got to recharge the battery, recharge the body, recharge the mind. Yeah, at the TTM, yeah. The only reason, so I've been so involved with Samara and now Elmendorf, and obviously with working real life, full-time job real life, basically full-time here, part-time maybe full-time, I don't know. I haven't had the opportunity to really join TTM, because TTM, they have a T-track layout. They have an N-scale layout that I can join. I can join another HO layout. But, the issue is I don't have the time nor money to really try to commit to all of those clubs. But it's a great problem to have. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's like there's a G scale that you can join too. This city has everything. I love this city. And then I'm starting to find out that there's hidden, I don't know what they call it, lone wolf layouts. Like, who would have thought this layout would have been here? And then I've got, the LSR 6, the NMRA LSR 6 region or division. So, it's crazy. You wish you work? Yeah. See, and that's the thing. It's like, everyone was talking about, what was the stream that I was listening into? I think it was Anthony Dodge. I was listening in. Everyone was talking about retirement. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm never going to retire. Like, once I'm done with this full-time job, and if, quote-unquote, do retire from that full-time, I'm just going to find something else to do. I mean, either be this or another job plus this. I'm always going to be doing something. I can't just sit around and fiddle around. I am a genuine workaholic. and you guys see that on this channel. So, again, sorry, not sorry if I've accidentally spammed your feed. Amherst definitely kept me busy with all the news coming out, because it was like right at 9 o'clock, all the news broke. You know, scale trains 4-axle, scale train CSX, all of the buildings, all of it was a very, very busy Saturday for me. Okay, Werewolf, thank you so much for the good conversations there. And again, don't thank me. Thank everyone who's subscribed. It's basically the Icey family. It's your guy. I always say it's your guys' achievement. I'm just a workaholic dragon that just pushes as much more railroading content as I can on this channel. So it's really your guys' achievements. That's why I celebrate it with you. So, again, thank you guys. Thank you guys. But yeah, so I'm hoping next weekend. Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't sit still. Fairy VR always says that I'm the Superman of the house because I just keep working. It's like, yeah, I just freaking do everything. So, the Wings of Fire series. Yep. I know what you're talking about. And you know what's funny? You know, now we're getting on the topic of dragons. I love it. Mini Prince came out with their dragons, and it's like I think there was a small little Easter egg in the monthly subscription box. I don't know if he did that on purpose or just did it by accident, but it's like he put a Wyvern dragon in the subscription box along with an ice chest. I know it could be a far stretch to say, but ice dragon, ice and dragon, ice dragon. I know it's a stretch, but it was a corny stretch, and I loved it. No, Bernard is a good person. He does a lot of good for the hobby. I still want my Phoenix, though. Fairy and I have always been kind of tapping his shoulders, like, can we get the Phoenix now? Because we want a Phoenix for Phoenix Point behind us, because it's named after us. So our idea is that we have a little tree, and we want to have a little phoenix on that tree to represent. This module actually has a history behind it because Phoenix Point, before it was called Phoenix Point, was a modular that was both HO and I think HON3, like proper gauge track. It was a test track. Yep, own it. It's just a stretch. It's just a fun thing. And so it was originally going to be thrown out. But before it was thrown out, the previous owner of it said, hey, if anyone wants this, you can have it for free. And then no one took it. So right before it was going to get thrown out, because we were closing up for the show, because it was part of a train show, I took it. It's like, screw it. You know what? I want the wood. I want the frame. And so I basically cut everything off, put HO track on there, put my first Digitrax kind of decoder on it to get that layout control, and called it Phoenix Point because I helped it, have a new life. So that's basically the backstory behind Phoenix Point. So, and to this day, it is part of the Icey Railway. Learned a lot, though. Learned a lot by converting that modular. But yeah, and that's one of the many things why I love modulars. Because sure, you can make an entire layout, but each modular has their own story too. And that's the one thing I like about it. Ooh. You guys probably saw that and heard that as well. What time is it? 9:32. Ooh, wow. We got thunder, we got lightning. Now all we need is the Thundercats. Ho. Yeah. If it gets worse, I'll cut the stream. You know, be on the safe side. But again, everything is protected. Like every outlet that I use has a surge protection on it. Like this whole house, we learned very quickly that here, if you're gonna live here in San Antonio, we learned very quickly that all of our outlets need to have some sort of surge protection, along with backup batteries. So our TVs have backup batteries, all of our computers have backup batteries, because we learned very quickly that the power grid of San Antonio / Texas is not the greatest. All right, Pop John, we don't need you falling asleep while driving. Bad. That's bad. That's a bad thing. But yeah, I definitely fall asleep when I read. I read a lot of manga. It helps me fall asleep a lot. It's not on to the actual story. It's just it helps me just get into a good state to fall asleep. Or if I'm watching YouTube, I do that a lot too. But yeah, I think I'm finally over the Amherst hype, because I got my shots worth of Amherst from all the videos. Again, it just goes to show you that we have a fantastic freaking community on YouTube, that there's been so many people trying to capture all of Amherst that it's taken me almost 3 to 4 days just to see everything. I got a general idea of all the vendors that were there, kind of the layout of Amherst. And man, you guys had some fun. For those of you who went, I'm super jealous. I'm super jealous, but we will make it happen. Like I said, my big goal for Amherst is just meeting everyone there that I can. Just you doing Tesla experiments. I do not want to know. I do not want to know. Oh goodness. Just the best way to do it is just research Amherst 2024, and you're gonna get a plethora of videos from different perspectives. That's what I like too. Is like I like different people's perspectives to see what they're thinking about when they go to a train show or how they film it, because then that helps me kind of improve my craft. We all improve when we watch other people's stuff, and we can hone in all of our crafts. And that, again, that just makes the presentation of this hobby better. So, again, I know Ohio Steam and Steel has some videos. You know what? Let's just do this. And again, I would also say too that good is a subjective word. All the videos I got to see from Amherst were good, but again, my good may be different from your good. So, and the cool thing about these videos is that the layouts are going to have different trains running at different times. So you're not going to be able to get all the, unless you're at that layout for the entire day. Having other people record and so forth, you can see the different trains running on the layouts. So from the perspective of Heath, he may not see that particular train that, let's say, Ohio Steam and Steel sees on that particular layout with a particular train. So you get to see a different variety of trains on that one layout. That's what makes train shows so awesome, is that you get that variety. Let's see. All right, 2024 Amherst. So we got, obviously, Humanity Junction, Real Toy Trains, SF Modeler 24, New Haven Rails, Rockin' WS6, North County Trains, De Remy, Sparky, Model Train Aficionado. We've got Glenn Holland. We got My Life's Tracks. Oh, man. Mahler's Workbench was there. I didn't realize he went there. I got to watch that one later. Talked about that one. So I think John Rial is the owner of the circus train of the HO scale, basically prototypical Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circus train, which is awesome. Monorail fan. Matt S. Modelers. All American trains, but they're Dutch YouTubers. So sometimes they do it in English, but they're mostly in Dutch. Obviously, the Amherst Railroad Society. J&A Trains and RC. I know HO Evanston Subdivision was there. Part of Lombard Hobbies. Got to see his video on it. Obviously, Trackside Mike was there. PGH Train Fanatic, he was there. He's I think an O-scaler YouTuber. Yeah, just so many people. It's amazing. And all the videos are doing well. It's a win. It's a win. Minuteman Mac. So yeah, absolutely crazy. Just the amount. You got a new old stock. HM Circus Train. Yep, I know exactly the one you're talking about. Yep. So yeah, so as far as content coming up, I'm on this niche of I'm experimenting with my production style of upgrading DC to DCC locomotives. I'm starting to get inspired to do those type of videos. Like the BL2 video was my first test run, but now I'm going knee deep into them a little bit. So yeah. So BC parts, I appreciate that. The way I look at it is that we need to keep model railroading a hobby alive. It's not about other channels. It's not about me. It's about the hobby. We got to make sure that it's alive. Again, we see a lot of negative news that we see train shows going away, going under. We see companies going under, like model train stuff going under. We saw, I can't remember that one that just went out of business recently in Europe. So we see all these negative things, but it's like we need to help each other out. We need to just spread the love as much as we can, because we don't know. Maybe that next YouTuber is going to be the next person who creates a new company, who finds a new innovative technology that allows us to do something we never thought model railroading could do before. So Hattons, thank you. I knew you knew the name Ohio Steam Steel. Thank you. Yep, Hattons, you got it. I'm terrible with names. I've got a short-term memory. That's why I have you guys. So yes, Hattons. Yep. and like I stated, if you guys want to know like a good video essay about the state of the hobby, go take a look at Jimmy from DIY Digital. He did. Matter of fact, I'm going to share that with you guys because I watched that, I think, this morning or yesterday, and my God, it was a freaking good video. It was a really, really good video. Here. If you guys want to know about State of the Hobby, he says it best. I've tried to say things in my own way about State of the Hobby, but he really captures everything I try to talk about. It's just when it comes to English, it's hard for me. I'm Hispanic. I slur my words. I'm not great in vocabulary. Introverted on top of that. But I think Jimmy from DIY Digital says it best. The hobby's not dying, it's changing, and it's becoming a more prototypical standards when it comes to hobby, which makes sense. So, yeah, I try to as well, Randall, but how can I say this nicely? We talk about, the hobby is changing. And if you're not willing to change with the times, you're going to be left behind. Like my local brick and mortar store, I mean, I appreciate that they're there. It's just a lot of the 8 show stuff that I like, they're selling at MSRP, which I understand they may not have the sweet deals with these manufacturers, but it's hard for me to give my money when I got Train World that can give me a good discount and good service and all these other things. So, yeah. It is a good topic. And I was going to do my own video essay about it, but I don't want to because DIY Digital said it best. So, yeah, I do too. Fantasy schemes are needed to get up and coming modelers into the hobby. Like, I cannot wait for my shark nose diesels. I cannot wait. Those are going to be so much fun. And I cannot wait to get my Western Pacific GS4. That's going to be fun. But, and again, another reason why I shout out so many other people is like, I understand where I am at when it comes to model railroading and subscribers and all that. And me personally, I always believe that I have a responsibility that, if we get so many subscribers, like we're growing crazy amounts. But again, my motto that I always want to stick with is that I am the gateway of model railroading. If you find me through my shorts, through my videos I do daily, I want to make sure that you're taken care of, and that if you can't find something on my channel, you're going to find it somewhere else. So that's why I try to promote everyone as best as I can equally. I try to give you guys shout outs as best as I can. Allow you guys to, if you got something coming out on your channel, feel free to advertise. I do not take that lightly. So. And hopefully you're finding the things that you enjoy in the hobby. If you're finding the things that you enjoy in the hobby and you found it through me and found a different YouTuber because of that, I've done my job. I've done my job. Ooh, hoo, hoo, yeah. We are rocking and rolling. Ooh, that was gnarly. Felt the whole place shake. Oh, that was close. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and that's true. You got the interaction aspect of it. Our guys that run our local shop here, they're awesome. We're getting a hobby town coming in soon, and they know that there's a huge model railroading community here. So they've already embraced us on Facebook. I love it. Anything TSF blue and yellow. Excited to get your BNSF heritage. Yep. We got thunder, we got lightning. So far, it's just been thunder and lightning. I mean, it's getting a little bit windy, but no rain. The BN Grinstein, too. Yep. Just a test. Okay. Well, you test. I can see your test here. Yeah, and it's always been my motto that not one person can cover all of model railroading. So that's just another thing that I try to always keep in the back of my mind. Oh, it was 40 minutes away. Wow. Dang. Well, hopefully BCA parts we can get you connected with. You got that modelers retreat. I know I asked you this. I wasn't sure if you were going to go to it, but they've also got a train show up in that general area too, coming up in the summer. So hopefully you'll be able to get connected to the people up there and be on your way. So SF paint schemes on monitors. Yeah, that's part of their hypotypical line that they're looking at doing, which I'm all on board for. Yeah, nothing definite. Yeah, I get that. But I appreciate that Scale Trains is doing it because I thought Scale Trains was just going to be 100% prototypical and rivet counter based manufacturer, which they've got some pretty cool models when they do. But again, I always criticize them too because sometimes they go overkill with the details and then functionality is affected by it. And that's where I don't like it. But for the most part, their GP30s, best diesel of last year. For me. For everyone, yep. Yep. You like all the BN schemes? Nice. Yeah, that FOMO. Like that's one of the issues with pre-ordering is that you get that fear of missing out, and then you may not be able to get those. I'm going to try to be there on Sunday at Samra. I think I'm feeling a little bit better to the point that hopefully I won't. The reason why we haven't been going is because this freaking cold. I got it from work. It was contagious at work. Everyone got sick at work. And then my family got sick. So we're trying to stay away from, we got a lot of elderly people at Samra, so I'm trying not to get them sick. So I'm trying to get to a point where I know I won't be too contagious per se. So, yeah, hopefully, if not, definitely next Thursday, I should be good enough to go back. Especially if it's red and silver. Yep, yep. Oh, you're moving back to Chicago. Nice. There you go. There you go. Says definitely a possibility. Look at that. Yeah, keep suggesting it. Do it in a respectable way, and you never know. Hiawatha Hobbies. Nice. I think it's time for a weather update. Let's see. Ooh, here comes the rain. Here comes the winds. Just outside of Milwaukee. Yeah, we're in the thick of it now. One big blob. Severe thunderstorm watch. Are we under a tornado watch? Flood advisory. And what's the special weather statement here? Strong thunderstorms, winds. Okay, no tornadoes, so I think we're good for now. Nice, I gotta remember that if I ever head up in that direction. But yeah, a lot of so Train Fest is one I want to get to. Eventually, I do want to meet Split Rock, and I want to visit his layout. So I've got a lot of questions regarding freelancing. That I just kind of I need to be in person to see that layout. One day. One day. I want to go to the Rocky Mountain Train Show. My Ferry VR has expressed a lot of interest in going back to Denver and exploring Denver, because obviously Denver has 4005. Cheyenne's always got 4004. So there's a lot that I want to go back there for. So definitely on our bucket list is Rocky Mountain Train Show. And I definitely got to hit all the big boys. Again, so it's just one of those not ifs, but when. Going back to Greenlee. Oh, okay, guys. So I've got about another 5 minutes. The wind is picking up, and when there's wind, there's going to be issues with power lines. So, to avoid just cutting out completely, we'll give it about 5 more minutes, and then we'll wrap this stream up. So, with Amherst, the Super Bowl of model railroading coming to a close, is definitely left a lot of announcements, a lot of interesting products coming up for the future. Another fun time. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Those of you who went enjoyed the show. Those of you that watched it on YouTube, hopefully you guys got to enjoy everything. Timothy, welcome. How are you? Welcome, welcome. We're slowly wrapping things up. The wind is getting pretty nasty here in San Antonio, Texas. So I would only imagine that we may have some power outages coming up, potentially. I do a live stream. Oh, speaking of live streams, Boxcar Buccaneers next Tuesday, because Summer General Meeting is next Friday, because it is the second Friday of the month, and that means it's the second Tuesday of the month, which means I'll be streaming next Tuesday at 7 p.m. U.S. Central Time, basically Heat Soul time. So yeah, I will be streaming next Tuesday for Boxcar Buccaneers next week. So I will not be streaming next Friday. We'll start off again the Friday after. All right, take it easy, Ohio Steam and Steel. And I appreciate you coming by as well. Appreciate you guys. So yeah, Timothy, it sounds like if this is your first time here, again, welcome. This is an HO modular layout. I appreciate the kind words, BCA Parts. I'm just happy that we can come together and just talk about this hobby. I know that there's some aspects of the hobby that some people just don't tend to want to talk about. Me personally, I'll talk about it, because then we get good discourse, we get opinions, and as long as we're respectful, that's what it's all about. Just we can talk about things. Just be respectful. That's all I ask. And sometimes we have to talk about things in this hobby just for the sake of the hobby. So that's why I have my Icey Real News, just to bring general awareness and see what other people think. Nice. Very nice. And again, everyone in this chat, check each other out. And you guys are also content creators as well in your own respective ways. So, by all means, check other people out. So when life kicks us in the nuts, we have a way to escape it. Because this is how I escaped that. Like, this week was rough. Like, these last 2 days were rough, but being able to stream, being able to just kick on the layout, see the train going around in circles, that is what helps me just be in that space. It's just something about it. It's just something about it. The ASMR of hearing, the diesels going around, hearing the wheels squeak a little bit, the clickety clacks of the wheels on the tracks and the joiners and all that. Gotta love it. All right, let's do some quick rail fanning because I think I robbed you guys on some rail fanning on the layout because I know we had so many announcements to get through. A lot of great conversations today, too. So we'll do a little bit of rail fanning before we head out. So again, this is Phoenix Point. I'm really impressed with these Rapido diesels. Yeah, yeah. But that's the whole point of escapism. It's like when you get kicked in the nuts, there's always escapism to get you back on your feet. And model railroading is my escapism. Yep. Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of this layout. It was designed from the old motto of running a train around the Christmas tree. That's it. Nothing too crazy. Well, this is the more advanced version of that, but let's see. Let's bring up this little guy. Yeah, it's been wild. I would be honest with you that I wasn't expecting like model train stuff to close. That one kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But times change. There's a supply and demand for it. And when there's that demand, people try to find a way to satisfy that supply. All right, let's bring up this scene here. Get you guys in front of the big boy in 844 there again and bring in the diesel. All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming out. Again, thank you so much for subscribing, liking, chilling out with us. It is crazy to think that, like I said, we crossed 4,500. My mind is still blown by that. And we're on our way to 5K and beyond. So thank you guys so much for making this possible. Again, without you guys, none of this is possible. So make sure you have a safe week. I will see you next Tuesday for Boxcar Buccaneers for the hour. And then I'll see you the following Friday after that. So with that, guys, thank you so much. And have a great night.